Ever notice someone dragging large black bags through the hospital lobby and wonder who they are? That, my friend, is a medical device rep. Welcome to Device Guys. Your hosts, Brent Lloyd and Jason Doliak, bring 50 years of combined medical sales experience to the table, sharing insights, stories, and a behind-the-scenes look at this fascinating world. Enjoy the conversations.
Every single day, you go out and you do the things that you can control.
Yeah, the lonely miles, you do them every day.
Every day.
This is a good time to talk about your non-negotiables. You mentioned them just now,
Yeah.
but I love talking to you about this stuff because you have a structure.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen by chance.
No.
And you're a good mentor to younger people, the people that you bring in to work with you, and you bring them along in a very quantifiable and structured way. You want to talk about kind of what your game plan is, what your approach is to going about your work?
Yeah. Your podcast is about med device, right? So you're trying to educate people on medical device and our jobs and what
Just
we
kind
do,
of a
right?
look into what this side of medicine. Yeah.
So for me, I keep it pretty simple, man. I've got we call them our locker room rules, right? They're like non-negotiable. We want everybody to come. We want everybody to be the individuals, but we all got to be in alignment on these.
Okay, can I ask you
four
one
things.
thing?
Yeah,
Have you seen The Bear?
the bear.
The TV show The Bear?
I have not.
So have you been calling these non-negotiables for a long time?
Yeah, for
The Bear has non-negotiables. I thought you pulled it from the TV show, but no. I think maybe he pulled it from Jed DeVries.
How
Bear
dare
Man.
you? How dare you?
Yeah.
Some pop culture reference. This guy's been doing this for 35 years. Show some respect.
He's not plagiarizing.
The Bear Man stole them from me.
That's
stole
what I'm
from you.
saying. Maybe the Bear stole the non-negotiables from me.
Yeah.
I interrupt. Go on. I want to hear about your 4 non-negotiables.
Okay, so the thing that I think makes where I work special and kind of how we do it here special is we kind of have 4 things that we follow, and it's kind of an easy recipe for success. And the first one is obviously we protect the brand. We have a brand here. I've said this many times. You could grab someone from the parking lot and put them in the scrubs we wear, and fitted golf shirt, walk them to the hospital, and a lot of the people there would think that they work at the company I work for, and they'd have access to places that other people generally don't have access, just because we kind of look the same. We protect the brand. I say this all the time when I was playing football. They say it now. They said it then. The big thing for the NFL: protect the shield, protect the brand. That's what they say. Protect the brand. This, it's bigger than any one person. So I believe in that. I think that we need to protect the brand and represent the brand well.
And starting with that, like I think about that as acting with honesty, integrity, and accountability.
Yep.
Right? Those big factors. Every time you come into another individual, make it a positive impact for them.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter who it is.
Yep. Yeah, I fully agree. I think the goal is have someone that could be in a hospital halfway across the country, and they'd walk to the hospital and they're acting, doing, saying very similar things that I'm acting, doing, saying, or we're doing. And then the second thing is just be a good partner to your customers. And when I say be a good partner to your customers, what I mean is be present. Like I've been called out a few times when I've broken my own rules. Like put your phone down. They need to know you're there to bring them value. Like I really think that if you're not there to bring value, you have no business being in the room with a doctor.
I love this conversation.
That's exactly right.
These guys went to school for a long, long time, and they didn't wake up one day, trip over a rock, hit their head, and become a physician. They didn't. So
you say this, you're replaceable.
yeah.
Right? You're the rep.
Yeah.
This doc's not replaceable.
No.
Exactly.
No. There's 1,000 guys in line that would want my job. These guys, I mean, the time and the energy and effort they've had to do to become doctors, and then what they do, and then could you imagine going to work, and we kind of do this to a degree, but could you imagine going to work every single day to help people? Like you wake up and you're going to work to help people who need your help.
Yeah.
And they're coming to see you because they're sick, they don't feel well, they need your help. I've said this a lot too. People, like healthy people, they have a lot of wants and needs, and they're like, they got a list of things they want. When someone's not healthy or they're not feeling well, and they got one thing on that list,
thing they want.
They just want to get better.
That's right.
They're the guys they go see.
Right.
So I'm not going to waste their time, and I'm not going to kind of cheapen what we do by not bringing value to them when I show up. So when I talk about being a good partner, I mean being present, respecting what they do, understanding if I'm going to be in the room or we're going to be in the room, there's a patient that we're trying to get better, and we need to be prepared. So that's
Love that.
that. And
I think, and well, I'm sorry
ahead.
to interrupt,
Go.
but these have been a big problem. You know, I mean, the advent of the cell phone, the way that the instant access has affected all of us. We, like, when we're in procedures, when we're there, we're in front of patients. I coach my guys. It's off.
Yeah.
It's definitely on silent. It's not in front of you, and it's a real hard thing to balance. Being able to, because part of this job's availability and accountability. But in the moment, be accountable.
Yes.
Be present.
Yeah, fully be where your feet are. So there's other people in the room. It's not just the doctor. It's the lab. It's the techs. It's the managers. It's the nurses. All of them take a lot of pride in what they do, and they've worked really hard to get there. So for me, I try to be like, this is it. This is the most important thing. This is what I've been waiting for all day. We are here. Let's do it. Nothing else matters. I've been waiting all day to be here.
Right.
I'm excited for this. Let's do it right. And I just think be engaged, fully engaged, and be present.
That's number 2.
That's number 2. Number 3 is be a good partner to your teammates. And that kind of helps with the brand thing. And what do I mean when I say that? So one of the coaches when I was in Cleveland was Nick Saban. Everybody knows Nick. He was the coach at Alabama, and he's a sports commentator. And so I followed Nick just because he was one of the coaches. Belichick was the head coach. Nick was the defensive coordinator. And Nick says a thing. He's like, do you pray to be blessed, or do you pray to be a blessing? And what he means by that is, obviously, it's kind of self-explanatory, but what he means is, like, if I'm going to be praying to be blessed, I'm asking for something that makes me better. If I'm praying to be a blessing for someone, I can make their lives better. I'm a believer in this, man. I'm a believer in lifting up those around you. Jocko Willenick talks about leadership. I've read him a little bit. Mm-hmm. He talks about leaders, the difference between leaders and manipulators. And leaders are someone who uses their influence, right? Because in leadership, you're influencing people. They use their influence to influence people to do things that benefit them, right? Manipulation is a leader using his influence to manipulate someone to benefit himself.
Right.
That's a fine line. That's a fine, and there's a huge difference between the two. What would you rather be, a leader or a manipulator? So I'm a big believer, in are you praying to be a blessing, or are you praying to be blessed?
Right.
Well, I'd say you're praying to be a blessing.
That makes sense.
I look back on, on your birthday when you blow out the candle and you have a wish, and you can't tell anybody what the wish is, or it won't come true, but you have the wish. I try and remember what age I was that, like, my wishes were for other people and not myself.
Right.
Like
That's
for my kids,
that's a pivotal moment.
Yes, right. And so when I say be a good teammate to your partners, it's all those things. You guys are familiar with David Goggins, right? You've read his book. In his book, he talks about, like, in Hell Week, when everyone's about done and they're ready to ring the bell and be done. And it's like, what get you through? And he's like, I don't know. It's like, it's usually some dude from, like, Iowa or something that's, like, undersized, kind of slow, but he's looking to help those around him. Like, he's looking to help them get through the night. And that's always the guy that seems to make it through. And so, like, all these 3 people I've talked about, they all say it different, but they all kind of have the same message. They're like, if you want to do great things and you want to be successful, get really, really good at helping people around you be successful.
So that being rule number 3, like, one thing I've thought about leadership is leaders that I've seen that have been the greatest, leaders love. Like, they love the people they're leading, and they want to see them advance. It's so much like being a father. Just you want your kid. Nobody wants your kids to succeed more than you do.
Yeah.
And if you can enable that, I think that's where the power lies.
I think it lets your teammate show up. Like, if you do all those things and you try and you deliberately go to work, deliberately do these things, you show up kind of as the best version of yourself, but it lets them show up as the best version of themselves. So I'm a big believer in being a good partner to your teammates.
Yeah, make people better.
Yeah.
Now, I know what your 4th non-negotiable is. I already know it, and I love it, and I can't wait for you to talk about this one. What's the 4th?
Let's hear it.
Build home courts.
Build home courts.
Yeah. Can you take a shot at what that means?
Well, build home courts. I think about, set up a situation where you have all the things are working in your favor. You have as many things and as much tailwind behind you as you can have based on the things that you lay down with the interactions you have with your customers, with the suppliers, with everybody. But tell me what your view it is.
Yeah, you get the calls. Yeah, so building home
get the
courts.
calls.
Yes, building home courts is. I love it because you've got to be in our industry. You've got to be one or two things. Right? You've either got to be, I believe, to be successful in our industry, you got to be one of two things. You either got to be like another physician in a room, not saying we're physicians, but know our product well, that they really don't want to, Brent's great at this, you're great at this. They really can't and don't want to do the procedure without you there. You either got to be that, or you got to be like the best friend in the room that everybody loves to see. The place is in a great mood when you get there. You make everybody feel better about themselves.
Build morale.
Build morale. You're a great team guy to everybody. But you got to be one or the other. Like you can't be neither. You need to be one or the other. We've talked about this. The great ones are both.